30-something dads trying to hold on to their youth as they face the responsibilities of having kids. And over here on your right, Soundstage 44, this is home to Parenthood, starring Craig T. Nelson and Lauren Graham. And if you've not watched this show, it is fantastic. I just started watching it this summer. Coming up here on your left, these are production bungalows. They used to be dressing rooms for some of the biggest stars in Hollywood. I'm talking about Doris Day, Cary Grant, Rock Hudson. And now they are offices for some of the biggest writers, producers, directors, and production companies out there, including Illumination Entertainment. They brought you the Lorax, comes out on DVD and Blu-ray this week. Actually, it came out already. And also, Hasbro is out here. They brought you Transformers. They brought you Battleship. You will recognize their office because Mr. Potato Head is right in front of them. It's coming up here right now on my on your left, on my right here. And right next door to them in Bungalow 5195 is a profile of this director right here.
Move into that office. I said, no, I can never be in Hitchcock's office. That should be a shrine, a museum.
Very exciting, just to know that he was there and walk by and know he was in that office. Hitchcock has influenced every director. I saw Hitchcock once walking around the commissary.
Hitchcock had his bungalow on the lot. I used to go see Alfred Hitchcock.
I loved working with him. I highly respect him. He really understood fear and terror.
The Birds? That was a really scary movie.
The Birds? Oh, man. That had me looking at crows like for the next 10 years.
Psycho, of course. Vertigo was one of the all-time great masterpieces. Hitchcock was master.
Now, folks, we just left the front lot. We entered the back lot. This is where we shoot the big stuff, the exteriors. On your right here is our Metropolitan sets. Now, these are known as facades. Now, what's a facade? Well, it's only the front and the sides. If you look at your screens, you'll see there's nothing on the inside at all. Now, it might look like brick, it might look like concrete, but it is not. It is wood, foam rubber, plastic, and lots of paint. Now, we just entered a very famous area. This is Brownstone Street. You might recognize it from many movies and TV shows, including this movie right here, where Jim Carrey had a little trouble with his dog.
Grace, the dog!
The shower! He walks out right there.
Outside good. Inside bad, outside good.
Where's that?
Oh, you're done.
Get it free. Beautiful. Now, folks, I want you to hold on tight, okay? Put on your seatbelts. We're going to go 88 miles an hour. I'm just joking. There's no seatbelts. I saw you look down now. But someone went 88 miles an hour, 88.8 miles an hour down this very street. Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, you know where I'm going with this. If you look over to your left, this is Courthouse Square, but you might recognize it as Hill Valley from Back to the Future.
It was actually the back lot of Courthouse Square that inspired the entire climax to Back to the Future.
I had seen something at the clock tower on that ledge. It was a ledge about that wide. And I was standing inside looking at the ledge, and I already had vertigo. I just thought there's no way in the world, no way I'm going to stand all that. I was up there for quite a while. Of course, I had a cable.
Now, folks, I know it looks a little different. You're like, where are those columns? I don't see columns. Well, they're right behind that brick, which is not really brick in the first place. And our clock is safe in our prop department. Now, I want to take you to a different part of the United States. Oh, yeah, we're going to New York City. I was born there. I was born in Queens, I'm telling you the truth. And my buddy, my co-host, Jimmy Fallon, he's from there too. Hey, Jimmy, tell us a little bit more about the Big Apple, huh?
Hey, everyone, welcome to New York. I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. What's got mugged over there? An old woman. Tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey, buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. Hey, I'm walking here. Hey, it's cool, guys. I was just, just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
That's right, Jimmy. Any metropolitan city we could shoot right here. We call it our New York streets because, well, it looks like New York. We have our own Broadway. We have our own theater district. We even have our own Macy's right out here. Now, a lot of films and TV shows are shot right here. Films and TV shows you might know. TV shows like NCIS, Criminal Minds, How I Met Your Mother. Also, films like Transformers, the first one, original. Some others, like you might know, Captain America, Amazing Spider-Man, which is out in theaters right now, shot right here. Now, Amazing Spider-Man, they actually built facades in front of these facades so they can hook up wires for the main actor to do the little stunts, because they want a lot more realistic stuff. If you've not seen the movie, you'll see it's a big difference from all the CGI they used to use with the other Spider-Man movies. Now, back in 2008, there was a big fire. It burnt down over 4 acres of these metropolitan sets. And you know what? That gave us the opportunity to rebuild and rebuild even better. Now, we didn't rebuild this quickly, of course. It took about 2 years. We had a creative team headed by Steven Spielberg himself. Now, these buildings used to be only about 25 to 30 feet, but now they're about 50 to 60 feet. Spielberg thought it would give more for the camera to play with, so you never know who you're going to meet. A little serendipity right there. Now, Spielberg's not the only big-time Hollywood Academy Award-winning director we have worked with. Oh no, there's been a few, especially this guy right here. You might recognize him. This is Peter Jackson.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up an adventure. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it was great to have you along for the ride. Now, we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, but just have them in your hand, because we're about to return to Skull Island.
Listen to Peter Jackson. Don't put your 3D glasses on just yet. Peter Jackson himself will let you know when to put them on. I promise you. He knows what he's doing. But first, I want to show you something. When they were remaking King Kong, Peter Jackson wanted to add something that the first King Kong didn't have. They wanted to make King Kong himself a little more emotional.
He's old, he's wise, he's proud, he's fierce, and obviously he has a heart. The most important feature with Kong are his eyes. Kong's eyes are wonderfully expressive. They're full of emotion. His eyes are like a window into his personality and his heart. He's had an enormous number of encounters with his foes, the T-Rexes and the various dinosaurs on Skull Island, so he's been beaten up, scarred, chewed up, spat out by these dinosaurs at various times, and he wears the scars of a lot of ancient battles.
Are you guys ready to meet King Kong face to face? I can barely hear you. Are you guys ready? Yeah! That's a little better. Welcome to Skull Island.
Everybody, we're back in Skull Island.
Hi, buddy.
it is LA. You have to, right? And that was brought to you by Peter Jackson himself and the team at Weta Digital. You might recognize Weta Digital because they've won 5 Academy Awards. And you might recognize the movies as well. The Lord of the Rings trilogy, King Kong itself, of course, and one of my favorite movies of all time, Avatar.
With a project like the Studio Tour, the audience is in the middle of the environment. They're looking in all directions. There's creatures coming at them. They're seeing Kong from this side and T-Rexes from the other side.
Working on a movie, we always know where people are looking. They're looking straight ahead. They're looking at the shot that we're working on.
Here you have to take into account that people are looking in all directions.
Also, one of the things about this ride, unlike the movies that we're used to working on, there's no cuts because it's one giant shot. This tram that's driving along through Skull Island is where the camera's from. This ring represents where the screen is 10 meters away.
We're really creating about 50 minutes of a feature film. That amount of visual information, that number of pixels, and presenting them to the audience, it's a hell of a ride.
And I'm telling you folks, if you loved King Kong, you will love Transformers The Ride 3D if you've not gone on it. It is fantastic. Now, speaking of cars, we got some picture cars coming up here on your left. You might be asking, what's a picture car? It's any car on film, driven or parked. And some of these cars have become as famous as the actors who drove them. My favorite car of all time is out here. The DeLorean from Back to the Future. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? We got some cars from the Fast and the Furious films as well.
Today's forecast for the Universal Backlot. It's going to be sunny and dry in 6 Points, Texas. Cool and cloudy in Little Europe. Expect snow and sleet on New York Street, and we've got a high chance of fog and precipitation for Skull Island, Amity Island, and Island Udall. That's your forecast for today. Now here's a look at what's going on in your neck of the woods.
Flash flood warning? I don't think so. But I will tell you how we do some of these weather effects. You're going to hear thunder in 1 second. We got speakers on your right in these facades right here to make that thunder sound. Let's listen, shall we? Oh, I don't hear any thunder. Oh, what's going on? No thunder? There's the storm. I knew it was coming. I felt it. I can feel it in my bones. If you look over to your left, you'll see high voltage lights flashing. That's just high voltage lights, make it look like lightning. You know what? I'm going to cue the rain and action on your left. We got sprinklers, shoot water straight up into the air, and then it comes down naturally. So simple. Yeah, wow. That is getting loud, isn't it? Alright. I'm going to radio in here in 1 second. Hey, Mike. Hey, how you doing? Oh, yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you very much. You can turn off the weather effects. It looks great. All right. Yeah, I'll call you later. All right. Bye-bye. All right, folks. This area is called Old Met. Mike? Hey, Mike. Hey, you need to turn off the rain because there's a hill right there. We get too much rain. Oh, no. That's a lot of water coming down that hill. People, lift up your feet if you can. You will get soaked. That's coming right for us. Oh, that's a lot of water, isn't it? Just kidding. I know some of you lifted up your feet. I know some of you did. Now, how do we do that? Thousands of gallons of recycled water. We hold it up there on top of that hill, and then we let it go all at once. So simple, yet so effective. Now, we're going into Old Mexico right now. Some great films and TV shows were shot out here. Shows like Community, Shameless, House even shot a scene out here. You know what? The animated feature film Hop shot a scene here as well. And one of my favorite comedies of all time, Three Amigos, starring Chevy Chase, Steve Martin, and Martin Short. I was just thinking, I don't own that movie. I want to own that movie. That'd be great on DVD. Now we're going from Old Mexico into the Old West. Oh yeah, this is 6 Points, Texas. Some great Western stars moseyed on down these very streets. Western stars like John Wayne, Kirk Douglas,
John Wayne.
Clint Eastwood, Jimmy Stewart. You know what? Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon. Did I just say Jimmy Fallon? That's that. Oh, okay. If you insist.
This town ain't big enough for the both of us, Jimmy Fallon.